The Pathfinder Club, or simply Pathfinders, is a department of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which works specifically with the cultural, social and religious education of children and adolescents located in the age group between 10 and 15 years. Similar in many respects to Scouting, this differs by religious emphasis on their activities, part of the official program of the Adventist Church since 1950. Globally, the Pathfinder Club is part of the Church's youth ministry. Under Australian director Gilbert Cangy, an estimated 38% of Adventist youth aged 18 and under are members of Pathfinders or a similar church-sponsored youth group, according to a 2002 worldwide survey of local church leaders. History. The first step towards the organization of the Pathfinders Club within the Adventist Church in 1907, when the Department of Youth Missionary, the Volunteer, was established under the leadership of Pastor M.E. Kern. In 1909 of the first organized societies Missionary Volunteer Youth, and in 1914 developed the first lessons to be MVJs, that would be the precursor of the progressive classes Pathfinder. In 1911 the embryos are formed from the Pathfinder Club in Tacoma Park, Maryland. 3 clubs were formed in Tacoma Park in 1911. They were Scouts, Missions, Woodland Clan and AMP Pals, and Tacoma Indians, were characterized by only accepting registration for boys. In 1919 Arthur Spaulding founded the club, Scouts Missionaries, in Madison County, Tennessee. Spaulding studied the organization, made compatible with the spiritual goals of the Adventist Church rules, and created the outline of the movement. The Scouts Missionaries developed the fundamental ideals for the current club of Pathfinders. In 1929, for the first time, the name Pathfinder was used on a schedule of juvenile SDA activities. The Association of Southern California promotes a camp for youth missionary volunteers, and entitles the camp Pathfinder. The same association in 1946 unilaterally formalizes and sponsors the program, with its first prototype recognized club being tested in Riverside, California. Alongside the experience in California, the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists in 1950 formalizes a program the club, and adopts a uniform, a hymn and a flag for the official new department. The name was adopted for the program Youth Club Missionary Volunteer. Between 9/11 October 1953, the Southern Association of New England promoted the first Pathfinder Campray in Ashburnham, Massachusetts. Since then, this has been the main camp and form of interaction between Pathfinder clubs worldwide. Since the formalization of the movement as the SDA program, it has undergone some upgrades, the most significant being development of progressive classes, development of physical and moral classes, addition of masters to the curriculum of the club. The global emblem Missionary Volunteer is replaced by the Pathfinder World emblem, and the name Missionary Volunteer falls into disuse. The first overhaul of the curriculum Pathfinder is made. In 2001 it was recorded that there were over 2 million Pathfinders in the world, and 90,000 clubs in over 150 countries. Philosophy and objectives. The Pathfinder Club is centered in the physical, mental, spiritual tripod, which develops activities to meet the needs and interests of children and adolescents between 10 and 15 years old, with a specific focus on this age group religious program. Much of the Pathfinder Club program is built around physical activities. According to the Pathfinder Club manual, the focus on it is explained because young people between 10 and 15 years old are at a stage of growth and very rapid physical development. According to the philosophy of the club, activities involving action, adventure, challenge and group activities provide opportunities for the development of new attitudes and skills that produce personal growth, team and community spirit, which yet according to philosophy of the program, part of the tripod of citizenship and loyalty, that preaches respect for God, His creation, and His church. While the Pathfinder Club exists primarily for the youth, one of its primary purposes is to also meet parents and church members through an active involvement with the club. The purpose of this involvement is to correct the gap between generations, approaching youth and adults to work and have fun together in a bond of common experience. The whole philosophy Pathfinder is built on the premise that juveniles and children learn best by example instead of the precepts. The way they see the leaders and parental values is used as a spiritual and social role model. With this is expected to develop high moral principles, attitudes of love, care and determination, these startling in all the activities. The educational philosophy of the club also emphasized that youth learn more effectively in a positive, happy and secure atmosphere. According to the General Conference of SDA, the attitude of the leaders of the club is therefore vital to ensure the success and effectiveness of this ministry for youth ingredient, because it will be one of the main models to be followed by juveniles. Leadership role. The leadership role is to help young people understand and love God and to watch over the church and the next. According to the manual of the Pathfinder Club, the goals and duties of the leadership of the club are: encourage Pathfinders to discover the God-given potential and use their gifts and skills to meet the expectations of the plan of salvation, inspire them to give personal expression of their love for God, uniting with other youth in various extension activities, becoming #1 priority club program the personal salvation of every Pathfinder, building on the groundbreaking appreciation for a healthy life and cultivate in them a love for God's creation, teach the groundbreaking immersive and interactive skills in order to make the time and talents of the most significant youth. He should encourage the Pathfinder to keep physically fit, and teaches them to take care of your body and establish habits that will give your health benefits. Provide opportunities for development of leadership by encouraging club members working together and sharing the responsibilities of leadership. And aim to promote the harmonious development of Pathfinder, taking care of all necessary aspects, be they physical, social, intellectual and spiritual. Organization. Each Pathfinder Club is run by a director of the club, deputy directors, counselors, instructors, chaplain, secretary and treasurer. The administrative officers of the club require that trained people are occupying the function. The General Conference Youth Department instructs that preferably leaders be invested 18 years old, who have completed the class leader, or at least they're fulfilling the requirements of the class leader. The club is divided into separate units classified by sex and age. Each unit has an average of 6 or 8 Pathfinders, accompanied by a counselor, who is the leader. The unit functions as a cell of the club, or micro-club, because it also develops an administrative organization chart with a captain and a secretary, and develops practical and theoretical activities through interaction among its members. Clubs are also organized into regions, which act as groups of geographically close local clubs. Regions usually have the authority to develop longer-term activities, demanding more effort and planning, also supporting the clubs through the regional team. The region is coordinated by a regional coordinator, usually an invested leader. On a broader scope is the local coordination of Pathfinder fields, which, as well as regional, has the mandate to coordinate activities that require more planning. Besides answering to the General Conference for all activities and work done in a geographic region, activities developed Various activities are carried out in the club program and subdivided according to the educational tripod club, focusing on the physical, mental and spiritual. Physical scope as part of the official program. The physical is valued. This explains the philosophy of the club, stating that juveniles are at a stage of growth and very rapid physical development. Various activities such as hiking, jungle trails, cycling, mountaineering, among others, have highlighted the activities of the department. Activities inside and outside of the regular meeting of the club focus on the physical. Develop up games, recreational activities and games that encourage exercise. Even traditional activities of the regular meeting as the United Order cherish the physical aspect, combined with the mental development. Physical activities are in essence entertain and attract children and adolescents, and allow it to jointly develop the mental and spiritual aspect. Mental framework. As part of mental development is encouraged youth to study and develop classes and specialties which are analogous to series and school subjects, although also understand the physical and spiritual aspects. Classes and specialties bring a greater benefit to the mental explorer context, providing a larger learning about various subjects. Spiritual realm. Although the physical part requires considerable time within the activities, spiritual development is the main focus of the club. The main objective is to bring the youth to have a constant daily experience with God, making him reflect on his creation and his care for him. In spiritual matters, he carries out various activities to engage youth. Standout missionary work, Bible studies and volunteer work. One example activity that strengthens both the spiritual and mental realms is known as the Pathfinder Bible Experience. This is a friendly competition that encourages youth to study and memorize entire books of the Bible. Christian citizenship. Within the spiritual realm there is the notion of Christian citizenship in Pathfinder Club. This is an integral part of working with youth, and establishes the concepts of citizenship and loyalty, which are three: to serve God, the homeland, and others. The social work of the entire department is guided by this concept. Classes and specialties. Regular classes are activities that cover various topics, always considering the educational philosophy of the club, resemble academic degrees, as is recommended to be developed within 1 year in accordance with the correct age for each class. Jointly develop the advanced classes, which contains more elaborate requirements, and usually with some degree of difficulty with regular classes. There are 12 existing classes for youth, classes leader and physical merits. Upon completing 16 years, the Pathfinder has the possibility to choose to stay at the club and compose the picture of leadership. If this is the choice of young, she will answer the leading classes, which are 3: Leader, Master Guide and Master Guide Senior. These classes have the task of preparing and empowering the youth who will compose the frames of leadership, giving all necessary instructions in this regard. There are still classes of physical substance, which are as follows: silver medal and gold medal. They are characterized by strongly encouraging the physical and athletic development of adolescents and youth who are in the leadership cadres of the Pathfinder Club, the Adventurers Club and Youth Club. Specialties and Masters. The specials are theoretical and practical activities focused on certain specific theme, like intensive courses. Your goal is to take the Pathfinder, assimilate new knowledge from areas related to nutrition and health, to recreational areas, so that empower and train to handle many different situations. In his philosophy, the specials are also thought to help in the spiritual and moral development. The masters are groupings of related specialties that give the explorer, through the merits of the club system, the possibility of this being awarded the merit of knowing a particular area of knowledge.